So we're going to take all the pitches we've learned, and if we distribute them across the fingerboard from low to high, we have what we call a scale. And this will be the first scale that we learn, complete scale. And it has the name of C major. The C major scale starts on C and ends on C. And if you recall, we just learned C on the 5th string. So the C major scale is going to use all the notes that we've learned in the first position up to G on the 1st string. And then we'll return down to C, and that forms a major scale. Now, major scales are formed out of what we call whole and half steps. A half step is easy to understand on the guitar and is very visual because it's from one fret to another fret. So remember, we just studied A, B, C, right? And if you recall on the 5th string, open it's A, B is the 2nd fret, and C is the 3rd fret. Notice that B and C are separated by only one fret. They're right next to each other. They're not separated at all by any frets, actually. They're right next to each other. Whereas A to B is 2 frets apart. So the difference there is when you have the distance of 2 frets, that's a whole step. And when you have the distance of 1 fret, that's a half step. It's easy to see that on a single string, but when we go across the fingerboard, that's not so obvious. So what we will try to memorize is this. In the C major scale, the natural notes. Natural notes are equivalent to what are the white keys on the piano. In the C major scale, all of the letter names are separated by a whole step. There's 2 exceptions. B and C are right next to each other, and E and F are right next to each other. All the other letter names are separated by 2 frets or by a whole step. So keep that in mind. That will help us find notes and give us some orientation later. So here are the notes from the C major scale. You should just practice this very slow. I recommend playing the scale with your index and middle finger alternating plucking. So here is C, then I move to the next string, D, E, F, next string G, A, next string B, C, D, next string E, F, G. And then we descend using those same pitches. And we want to end where we started, on C. All right, that is a C major scale. Again, the most important thing there to get from that is that all of the natural notes, the letter names, are separated by a whole step with the exception of B and C and E and F. And that's going to wrap it up for this lesson.